くらさん、さくらさん、はい、どうぞ。これは何ですか？これは何ですか？それはタイのお土産です。お土産です。ありがとう。ございます。ありがとうございます。どういたしまして。
こんにちは、皆さん。私はあやです。And I'm learning Japanese. I've been trying to learn Japanese for almost a month now. And this is one of my best resources, NHK World. And don't worry, it's free. And I also try to use the Pomodoro technique, 25 minutes each study time. So here's lesson 2 from NHK World. I also use other resources aside from NHK World, but I'm really excited to use this one. I know a lot of you don't know me, but I've been trying to study Japanese for a very long time now. Or should I say, I have a long history trying to study and learn Japanese language. When I was 16, I wanted so badly to learn Japanese. I loved anime, and I still love anime until now, by the way. But that time, I was really fascinated with everything about Japan and anime, and my dream is to watch anime without the subtitles. But as a teenager, I didn't have that right mindset in learning a new language. So after some time of learning only hiragana, I decided to put it off. So I've just returned to getting back to studying Japanese. So I hope that this time I will do better. I'll try not to quit as quickly as I did when I was 16. So when I study, I try to make use of my handwriting. Some of the people from YouTube say that it doesn't really matter a lot to know how to write because you type Japanese characters more often, but I'd like to make my handwriting more beautiful, so I'm trying to write as much as I can. And I'm just so grateful for furigana because whenever I encounter some kanji words, I start to become overwhelmed, but good thing I could read hiragana, albeit very slowly. So here in NHK World, they are also teaching onomatopoeia, which is very great because I heard that onomatopoeia is one of the most difficult things to learn in many languages, and it is also included in the proficiency tests. So I'm really grateful for this resource. In this lesson, I learned the onomatopoeia for the sound of walking. So it's sutta sta, and when someone is walking slowly, it becomes noro 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 noro. So if any native Japanese speakers hear me or my pronunciation, please excuse my pronunciation because, as I said, I'm just starting to study Japanese again, and I'm really trying my best. I decided to put up these videos of me studying is how I look with the rollers. Okay, so here's a time lapse of me studying Japanese for 25 minutes. So I commit to study 25 minutes, full 25 minutes every day to studying Japanese, but that doesn't include the time that I listen and immerse myself to Japanese music or talk with my friends who are who are native Japanese speakers, but I usually talk to them in English. So I try to spend more time immersing myself. This full 25 minutes is solely for my study time, but aside from that, I try to incorporate my language study with my day-to-day activities, like for example when I'm washing the dishes or doing laundry or just biking outside, or even when I'm counting my steps as I exercise. I like to listen to podcasts that teach me Japanese grammar or Japanese vocab. So I'm still trying to improve, and it's been exciting for me. I have tremendously increased my love for language learning, and I have also gained a little more confidence in keeping my goals, sticking with something, because nowadays it's hard for me to stick with anything. So I'm just glad to take on this project. So we'll see what improvements I'll have after a month. And I want to be more diligent with this one. But I can say learning Japanese really makes me happy.